I'm wearing the shirt for a much better movie. Does that count?
Yeah.
Oh, it's freaking John.
And there we go. That's how we start. Yes, hello everyone. Welcome to the Nerd-Vana podcast, where all things nerdy and geeky, and for all your movies, TV, which we'll get to eventually, is at your disposal. And right now, we are going to, in honor of the new Godzilla vs. King Kong movie, or Godzilla vs. Kong. We're gonna be talking about the first ever truly American version of Godzilla that is pretty much the black sheep of the franchise, and that is Godzilla 1998, starring Matthew Broderick. And so for me, I've switched between this movie. When I was a kid, I was 8 years old when this movie came out, and I knew a little bit of Godzilla, not because of the movies, but because there was a cartoon series, which I'll kind of get to later. And so I was 8 years old when I saw this. I loved it to death. I rewatched it over and over. And then when I stopped and decided to reflect back on it, in my young adult years, so my teens, I hated it because everyone else hated it. So they said it. So this is the reason why it's awful. And I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I hate it too. Nowadays, seeing all the other Godzilla movies that I have in my collection. If you remember the last review that me and Tyler did on King of the Monsters, it's grown since then, actually.
Oh dear.
Yes. And anyway, this has now become a guilty pleasure. I love it, and in a strange way that I know I'm gonna get crucified for this, I actually do call it, yes, a Godzilla. I do call it a Godzilla movie. To a certain extent. And anyway, Ian, how about you?
Oh boy. I've seen a number. What are you doing?
I wanted to open this earlier, but I forgot. So now I'm opening it now.
Okay. You froze up for a second mid-open, just like, oh god. This movie is, I agree with you, John. It is one of my guilty pleasures because this was the first Godzilla movie I ever saw. And for me, this helped tie me over between Jurassic Park 3 and Jurassic World because it feels like a mockbuster Jurassic Park.
Yep, and that is one of the many criticisms, and you can especially see it during the last third of the movie. You know,
with the raptors. I mean,
Babyzillas.
Raptorzillas.
Raptorzilla, yes.
Oh gosh, don't give the Asylum any ideas.
I'm pretty sure they've already had this idea. And also, how can they top the level of stupidity that is Sharknado? I mean, seriously.
I've seen things, John.
Oh, nice.
I've seen things. Things no Jurassic fan should ever have to see.
Are you sure? That sounds very limiting. I mean, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
In this instance, it's something ventured, many brain cells lost. Anyway, we're talking about Godzilla.
Yeah. Anyway, this movie is notorious not only among many moviegoers, but even Japanese fans, Godzilla fans, as awful, like a travesty to befall the Godzilla. And I like to let me keep in mind there are even awful Godzilla movies that Japan has made. This is the worst. only in America.
However, it's not so bad it's unwatchable.
No, it's actually it's a so bad it's good. It's actually kind of a decent train wreck. And the thing is that there actually were plans. There were plans to actually have a true Godzilla, like an actual a real Godzilla treatment, you know, very dignified. That's the word I was trying to go for. And then it kind of got muddled up during the process that they had to get the guy that made Independence Day and Stargate to do it. And that's where it went wrong. Because here's the thing. And who I'm talking about is Roland Emmerich. Yes, as I said, the director of Independence Day, which was essentially pretty much a high-budget version of War of the Worlds. I mean, think about it. Invading alien forces, they are defeated by a virus, a computer virus, not an actual biological virus. And then before that was Stargate, where it turns out that aliens built the pyramids of Egypt and that there's a portal to another point in space. You know, a wormhole to another point in space.
Oh, so that ancient aliens crap from the History Channel.
Yes. So essentially, what this guy is good at is making B movies that are disguised as big Hollywood blockbuster budget levels. And that's essentially what Godzilla 98 is. Even though its original incarnate was technically based on sci-fi B movies from the 50s.
Yeah.
So the whole story is that we haven't even gotten into the story. How far are we into this?
God.
All right. Well, the story is, well, your basic B movie monster, a giant creature that was created by nuclear radiation, pretty much terrorizes parts of the world. Finds its home in Manhattan Island of all places. Don't know anyone who would want to consider that a home.
No, Pennsylvania woodlands, anybody?
and of course causes some destruction. But it turns out that that's not the only thing they need to worry about. It turns out the creature traveled so far to nest, as in have many babies.
Yeah. Which, if that was the whole premise of the movie, I think it would have been great. I think it would have been great with critics, with audiences. However, John, that's not the only thing this movie tries to do.
Tries to squeeze in a romantic subplot.
We've been over this in freaking Dragons with the Heather Report. What the hell?
At least that
Why?
Well, at least that one wasn't as cringy. This one wasn't as cringy.
I even thought that was cringy.
I know. Like, really, kind of no. I mean, okay, the original 54 movie, that had a little bit of a romance subplot, but that wasn't the main focus. The main focus.
No.
That wasn't the main focus. The subplot of that movie was how, essentially, is that really the daughter of the scientist is pretty much the daughter of the scientist is engaged to another scientist, but is actually in love with one of the fishermen as they fight Godzilla. So but really, again, that's like the third back burner, like the 12th back burner in that movie. The whole point is that this is a destructive force of nature, I know a way to destroy it, but this might also bring about another nuclear arms race that could rival the atomic bomb. I don't know if I can do that. That's the 54 movie. 98 is your basic. There's a giant monster destroying the city. We must kill it. We don't know how. Wait, we might have a way. Okay, do it.
And
that's it. They destroy
romantic subplot.
Romantic sub.
Which I swear, instead of having it even on the back burner, it's on the burner next to the main pot. Guys, if you want to do that, fine, but make it, a supporting element, not next to the big G.
Yeah. Okay, so the movie was just a complete total bomb. There was actually a plan for a trilogy of this of this from TriStar, but I think because it didn't do so well, Toho, the intellectual property owners of Godzilla, pretty much decided to terminate the contract with Sony. Technically, it's TriStar, but they're owned by Sony. And Toho's original plans to revive Godzilla in 2004 got moved forward to 1999, and that's what started this. And that's what you've probably seen. Godzilla 2000 on VHS tapes when you were, going through video stores or maybe even DVDs, Ian.
I think I know what you're referring to.
So this was Toho's immediate response to this travesty of a movie.
Nope.
It went so far as that they actually roast it. They roast it twice in two movies. One is kind of a more subtle jab, where they say that there have been numerous monster sites, including one that resembles Godzilla attacking New York. And one of them offhand goes, "That New York attack was Godzilla? That's what all the American experts are saying, but our guys here have doubts."
I like that.
Mm-hmm. So that's a more subtle jab, more dialogue, but completely over the top, in your face, hammering over your head. Yes, we hated that movie. Godzilla Final Wars. Their Godzilla, they actually bring in Zilla, computer generated, rendered, and have it battle against their Godzilla, and their Godzilla takes it out in 20 seconds. And for context, there are over 30 Japanese Godzilla movies, not including the anime trilogy on Netflix. Of those 30 movies, that 20 seconds is the shortest fight in Godzilla history.
That's kind of sad.
It's very sad. Oh, you want to know what else is sad? Is that when the movie was sent over to Japan, one of the viewers who saw it was one of the suit actors from the previous series when it was put on hiatus.
I've heard about this.
Mm-hmm.
He walked out, didn't he?
He walked out, yelled at the top of his lungs, saying, "That is not Godzilla. They stripped the god from his title."
Oof.
So Japan was not very happy with this, and many Godzilla fans don't like to sweep this under the rug as a Godzilla movie. Me personally, I understand the detachment, I understand the resentment, but it's got the name Godzilla, and honestly, I can actually think of a good logical way of how this fits into the Godzilla universe.
Oh, please explain.
All right.
Not that I'm very well versed in the Godzilla verse, but regardless.
All right, so as of right now, the Godzilla series is split into 4 series. There's the original series that ran from 1954 to 75. And then it went on hiatus. Then in 1984 to 1995, that was the second series. That's known as the Versus series. And then that kind of went on hiatus with plans of being brought back in 2004 for its 50th anniversary. And then 98 happened. Enough said. So then from 1999 to 2004 was the Millennium series. That's the 3rd series. So that went from 99 to 2004. I do have a video, links in the description, about the Millennium series. And then finally, I guess even with the start of Legendary Pictures' Godzilla from 2014, kind of signaled Godzilla's return to cinemas. And then in 2017, Toho. So 2014 was the Gareth Edwards Godzilla with the start of the MonsterVerse. And then in 2017, so that's the start of the 3rd series, official in Toho. 2017 saw the return of Godzilla as like a complete reboot. I mean, so it like wipes out all the movies previously. A full reboot called Shin Godzilla, which kind of means
I thought that came out in 2016. I've heard about that.
I might be thinking of the American one. So yeah, 2016. I think the 2017 was the English dub. So yeah.
I've heard about how bad that one is too.
What? That was a good one. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's an all right one.
I haven't seen it. I've just heard it was bad.
All right. And
but regardless,
as of right now, plus three anime movies that are only exclusive on Netflix, and an anime series that is set to be released on Netflix too. This is now part of the fourth series, and they kind of all have their names, but I don't want to say what they are because even explaining this to my friend Tyler, he gets confused by them too. So what the second series is actually a direct sequel to the original 54 movie. So the movies that happened from 1956 to 75, they're snapped out of existence. They've been Thanos'd. And kind of same thing with the 3rd series. I mean, all the movies in the 3rd series are just a direct sequel to the 54 movie. All previous movies, they don't exist. And so that's kind of how and now getting back to this movie, the one we're talking about right now, that's how I see 98 Godzilla, is that it's a Godzilla movie just in name only, because we start in Japan. We actually start in Japan. There's a Japan fishing vessel that gets attacked, and only one survivor, an old man suffering from shell shock. I consider this man the link to the original 1954 Japanese film, in that he's not calling that creature Godzilla because it is Godzilla, but because he would have been old enough to have lived through the first monster's rampage. And so he's pretty much calling him Godzilla because it reminds him of Godzilla. And because the information got in the hands of the news, which I'm kind of guessing must have been a Fox affiliate, They didn't get all their information. So that's how. So the whole reason why he's called Godzilla is mistaken identity. That's
Okay.
it. All because a man remembered the original one, or was traumatized from it. Because that's what Godzilla is supposed to be. He's supposed to be a hurricane and a typhoon. He's a force of nature that we can't control. Just something that we have to live through. And that seems to be the other thing that why many Japanese and Godzilla fans really hate about this one, is because it doesn't really understand what Godzilla is. Godzilla is never killed by the military. What is this Godzilla? What happens to this Godzilla?
He's taken down by rockets from jets.
Rockets that apparently they have a hard time locking on to his heat signature because he is cold-blooded. So yeah, that's my perspective on where does Godzilla 98 fit into the whole Godzilla lineage. And honestly, I'm satisfied with it. If any of you aren't, just feel free to comment of saying why you're not, or just that you're not.
Okay, well.
After that long-winded speech,
exposition dump over.
Yes, exposition dump over. Ian, how about we get into some of the science aspect of Godzilla? Now we kind of know that a creature like this would never exist, because one, it's bigger than a dinosaur. Anything bigger than a dinosaur would not live.
Oh boy, do I have issues. But first, let's get the biology of this creature out of the way before I rip it apart.
Yeah, it definitely looks a lot more like a dinosaur than a giant. I mean, look. I mean, you look at this Godzilla, and then you compare it to that Godzilla. I don't see any resemblance. I have several questions.
I have several understandings. But, okay, so we have this essentially a mutant iguana.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to that later. Just run with me for a moment. Mutant iguana likes fish. Not something an iguana eats, but regardless. That traveled its way from the South Pacific, Indonesia area, across Panama, up the eastern seaboard of the U.S. to Manhattan to nest. It will lay how many eggs? Over 200 eggs-ish. So, and the eggs hatch very rapidly. So, that indicates, oh my God, can I pick it apart now?
That's why I handed it off to you.
Okay. First off, no biological creature. Firstly, they were trying to make this Godzilla more animalistic, more biological. You can see how they tried to do that with a more theropod, dinosaurian posture, which I do appreciate. I like that. I really do like that.
all the input the director had for its design is that it's got to be able to run fast. That's it.
Yeah, and however, an animal that large cannot run fast.
Yes, we know. Let's just have a little bit of suspension of disbelief.
No.
Well, I tried.
Welcome to Nerd-Vana, folks. Okay, so they tried to do that to make it run fast. Fine, I'll give them that, whatever. It wouldn't work, but regardless. They made it a digitigrade creature, which iguanas are not. I know I'm throwing out big words. Run with me here.
Okay.
Run. Digitigrade means walking on toes.
Oh, okay.
Like a T-Rex walks on toes.
All right.
Whereas iguanas are plantigrade like all living lizards.
Let me guess.
Palms. Yep.
And I'm not even a herpetologist. I could have guessed that. Why? Because I think we've all had an Animal Planet phase at one point. Don't be afraid to admit it.
Everyone likes Animal Planet at some point in their life.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This movie is just. Did this Godzilla have atomic breath?
That's up for debate.
Yes and no.
It's up for debate. Yes, Godzilla is supposed to have a real Godzilla is supposed to have atomic breath, and also he's also supposed to be indestructible. The only thing that could destroy him is either another giant monster, which there isn't one in this movie, or a bomb called the Oxygen Destroyer, which if you've seen Godzilla King of the Monsters, that was close to what it was, but it's in the original in the original 54 movie. But yeah, I think this Godzilla's atomic breath is just technically it was really just it let out a loud roar that just flung some cars back. It flung some cars back, and of course, in Hollywood, every car explodes whenever it hits another car.
Yeah.
So
it didn't have atomic breath. In a few shots, it does look like it. Like it might have had like some sort of special fluid that it shot out and it ignited on whatever was in the vicinity. No.
Nah, it didn't. I'll give them credit for that. Is that they made it ambiguous enough to make it look like he does and doesn't.
Yeah. And they're trying to stick with the whole biological, realistic, Hollywood realistic aspect of it. Mm-hmm. And I'll give them credit for that.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So yeah, the creature has to be realistic, but when he's caught in the suspension bridge, that thing is still up and running. Or if a human grabs a live wire, does not get electrically shocked.
Hollywood, dude.
I know.
Hollywood.
I know.
This movie is just
a B movie.
It is. It's more of a freaking B movie than Tremors. And that's saying something. Let's be honest here.
Yes, it is. But I don't know. But at least in Tremors, I mean, it also had a cast of characters that you like, that they actually have their own personalities.
And these guys, I just watched a review on this a couple hours ago. It's the cast from Friends.
No, The Simpsons.
That too.
It's three of the Simpsons characters technically show up in the movie. Two of them are pretty much major characters. One is Hank Azaria, voice of Mo Sizlak. In fact, you can actually hear him say. Actually, you can actually hear a little bit of Mo during Godzilla's first rampage through New York. And the creepy news reporter let me just say, the way that he hits on Audrey, this kind of thing did not age well. In fact, there's a lot of things that do not age well in this movie.
I was about to bring that up.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh boy.
Insert JonTron meme right here. That one didn't age quite so well.
Oh, let's just say the next few years really
It really puts things in perspective.
Yeah, I'd rather deal with this thing than what would happen a few years later. Oh boy. Every time I saw that skyline, man.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah, I do like movies that do show the skyline before that day of infamy. And I'm kind of glad that Hollywood is not planning on kind of like digitally removing them out.
Disney.
I don't know if they actually do that, but I wouldn't put it past them.
They won't release Song of the South, dude. Nothing's past them.
I know.
Regardless. Yeah, this movie doesn't age too well. The special effects
are okay.
It's all right.
I mean, I like
not Jurassic Park worthy in some shots, but
I like that
passable.
I like that there is a mixture of practical and digital effects.
Thank you.
Yes, just like in Jurassic Park, like some of the close-up of the Babyzillas are actual animatronics.
Yay!
Mm-hmm.
Can we just talk about the set design in The Nest?
Should we?
It's good.
It's good. Yeah. I mean, I've never been to New York City, so
I don't plan to.
I kind of would like to at one point, preferably
just once,
preferably during the day, and maybe with the bat on hand.
If any of y'all live out in New York City, comment down below how it is out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Louisville Slugger. Louisville Slugger. That's the bat I would have on me. But anyway, so this was actually the first time I heard of Madison Square Garden. So I had no idea what it looked like, and this is an interesting movie to introduce me to pretty much a staple of New York culture.
Pretty much.
Only to have it blown up.
Well, hey, let's be honest. It did have a giant monster lay its eggs in there.
It's true.
So that's gotta count for something.
You know what's actually amazing is that they don't make a reference to King Kong by having Godzilla climb up the Empire State Building, or at least show it. I mean, I didn't
missed opportunity.
Yeah, missed opportunity. Oh, not only does this movie not age very well, it also has a few missed opportunities too.
Oh, so many.
I mean, good on you for actually starting in Japan. You know, kind of giving a little reference to where this character came from. I mean, you didn't. I mean, it's nice to know you put a little bit more thought in that than just say based on the characters created by Toho in the credits.
Yeah.
But still.
But it probably could have done more.
It could have done. There's a lot it could have done more. I honestly don't know. Okay. You know what? We're pretty much just rambling on at this point. we kind of do know that the star of the show is Godzilla, or Zilla, as it's now officially trademarked. It's officially trademarked as Zilla because it's not good enough to have God in its name. And that comes directly from Toho. They seriously bought the rights to Sony's Godzilla just so they could rename it Zilla.
They're very protective.
Well, wouldn't you be if you actually if it turned out that your brainchild that was supposed to be a reference to your country's sorrow and fear of nuclear bombs was suddenly just bastardized?
Probably, yeah.
Yes. So yeah, I think. Let's see. It was kind of a little annoying to have to kind of get toys for this movie now that I think about it, because every time I'd have my toys, my parents would always call it a dinosaur, and I'd have to go, he's not a dinosaur, he's a giant iguana. Which kind of goes to show you like what the design. This movie definitely owes a lot to Jurassic Park.
Well, let's see. It came out the year after The Lost World. It really hammed up the ending of that movie.
Yes, actually,
and not in a good way.
I can't believe. Yeah, some Godzilla fans hate to say, but the ending of The Lost World was actually a more faithful tribute to Godzilla than the '98 movie. At least in that movie, you actually see it. There's a shot of a couple Japanese businessmen running around, and they're actually saying in Japanese, "I left Japan to get away from this."
I've seen that so many times. I've heard it disputed. I have no idea if it's true or not. Even though I have The Lost World on DVD right over there.
I got it on Blu-ray and DVD.
Oh, shut up. Not everyone has Blu-ray.
But everyone has DVD. I have it on DVD. So yeah, the movie owes a lot to Jurassic Park, especially with the baby Zillas, which are technically like raptors. Even having a hatching scene. Several shots that kind of remind me a little bit of the raptors from
the shadows.
the shadows. The opening the door, the leaping and mauling a guy to death.
That's straight out of movies and the books.
Mm-hmm.
I just bought a new copy of the book last year. It's right over there. I still have yet to read it.
Huh.
I've been busy.
Yeah.
But yes.
So yeah, this, I guess you could probably call this like Jurassic Park 0 or something. Diet Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park 2.5.
That would kind of imply there's something in between Jurassic Park 2 and 3. Yeah, Diet Jurassic Park. Let's go with that. Diet Jurassic Park.
Not as good.
It is the fill in your competitor brand of soft drink here of Jurassic Park.
Pretty much. It's not even it's not a Godzilla movie. It's a fake Jurassic Park movie.
Essentially, I think I like what you said before. I like what you said earlier. It's essentially a mockbuster of Jurassic Park
and Godzilla.
Mm-hmm. And we've pretty much gone through this whole thing, and we have not even talked about the characters or the
Yes.
caricatures. So the main character is Matthew Broderick playing Dr. Nico Tatopoulos, and because of that name, because of that last name, there's a lovely running gag that no one can really pronounce his last name right, actually, so he has to correct them.
Sounds like my name.
Oh, they don't constantly say Benoit? Do they keep going Benoit?
I go by either of this when I've stopped giving a crap.
Okay.
I've had people call me Ethan, dude. You're putting more letters in my name. Stop making work for yourself.
Now that's just straight
Three
up
letters.
ignorant.
It's 3 letters. Not that hard.
That's just straight up ignorant.
I know. Uncultured swine.
Very well put, my good man.
But Matthew Broderick,
Now,
I never connected it before, but he was also in a great movie from the 80s.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yes.
Yes, I never connected it before because I was 8. But he was the voice of one of my favorite Disney movies as a kid. He was the voice of adult Simba in The Lion King. So, yeah. Being 8 years old, this was the movie that introduced a lot of actors to me. So the next time I saw Matthew Broderick, which I think was in that Disney movie Inspector Gadget, when I saw the trailer for it, and I go, that guy looks familiar. Oh, right, that's the guy from Godzilla. I highly doubt anyone wants to be remembered as that. I don't think any of the actors would want to be remembered. Oh, you were in Godzilla. That's that's the first thing someone connects them to it. Not something good like it's hey, you're that French guy from The Professional. I'm talking about Jean Reno. It's like, oh, you're
who honestly might be the best freaking character in this movie. Though that's not saying much. I enjoy his character. Philippe Roche.
Philippe Roche.
Philippe Roche.
Yes.
I'm not French, even though my last name is French.
Honestly, I enjoyed him as a character, even as a kid. I loved everything that he said. Even some of the more generic action one-liners like "Party's over, we're leaving."
Oh, thank you very much.
Yes, he imitates Elvis Presley's. I love one
to get by the military.
I know. Elvis Presley movies. He was the king. One reviewer kind of pointed out that pretty glad that he didn't do his Jerry Lewis impression, because Jerry Lewis, he's popular in France.
To be honest, Philippe Roche reminds me a lot of Roland Dembo from Lost World.
And he's from another country, very calm, and everything he does is pretty cool.
Yeah. Enough said.
Yeah. But okay, we'll let that little copy slide.
Yeah, that's a good one. Well, that's fine. That's fine.
I mean, that's very fine. I mean, Jean Reno and Pete Postlethwaite, they're great actors.
Absolutely.
So
next, let's get on to some of the.
Actually, we didn't even finish really with Matthew Broderick's character. He is a biologist. I think more like a radiation biologist. He focuses more on the effects radiation have on biological creatures, mostly worms. Mostly worms. That's kind of why.
So he's way out of his field here.
Uh-huh.
And yet he's somehow always right.
Yep. If I do kind of I like that little scene on the plane before where they're still trying to figure out what the creature is, because they actually do go the 50s B movie route. Like they have like the paleontologist lady who pretty much says that it was a Theropodor allosaurus. Ian, please send me a photo of what the hell that is. A Theropodor allosaurus oh boy, no, you don't have to send it to me right now. You can send it to me after the podcast.
I don't even know what the heck it is, and I'm a paleo nut.
Okay, maybe. All right. Anyway, one of the characters pretty much just kind of just puts the brake on that theory, saying like, where has it been hiding for the last 60 million years? I love that, because that's actually one of the plot lines of a 50s monster movie that actually preceded Godzilla a year before. It preceded Godzilla a year, 1953, The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms.
I want to see that one. That looks good.
That looks good. It's
because it has good stop motion.
Yes, good stop motion. In fact, the plot line of that and Godzilla are pretty much identical. But it's okay because it's not what was copied, but what was done with the idea.
Yeah. Also, Theropodor allosaurus is not a thing.
It's not a thing?
They freaking butchered the terminology.
Oh my god.
They butchered the terminology from a paleontologist.
Oh my god.
Me, a mere science advocate, knows these terms better than a supposed paleontologist,
there is something very, very wrong.
Yeah, they butchered the terminology.
What is the actual correct terminology?
Theropod.
So it's just a basic Allosaurus?
Yes. Whatever that means.
Let's just go with the one that we saw in Fallen Kingdom. Or
Big Rock.
Big Rock, yeah.
Sure. How do you get from Allosaurus to this? You freaking idiot. You're about to send off a world of hurt, Stoney. Coming from me.
Oh, boy.
There you go, John. You're busting out the angry paleontologist in this guy.
Yes, I am. And it just all started is that they pretty much go the classic B movie route. Like, it is an ancient creature that has somehow survived for millions of years
with no fossil evidence whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. But luckily enough, that those brakes were just slammed right then and there. But I kind of like it. It's a nice little tribute to actually the roots of Godzilla.
Yeah, because he actually was like a Lost World style.
He has like
animal.
He has like the original Godzilla actually does. The actual Godzilla actually has numerous origin stories.
Well, of course, he's been around for this long.
Yeah, pretty much. And yes, I know they're scientifically inaccurate, but these are movies. We can allow a little suspension of disbelief where it counts.
Messing up scientific terms from a supposed expert in the field is not one of them.
Yes. And all right,
I'm
so
stuck on that, dude. I'm stuck. Keep going. I'm over here fuming.
all right. The next character is the love interest, Audrey. I forget what her last name is. Who works at the news station, and the news station, who is pretty much the assistant researcher for the creepy anchor, and pretty much just wants a chance to be a reporter. I do work in the news station, and I don't know how different they are, but maybe there is some difference between the bigger cities and the small cities where they actually need to do some research. But yeah, that was the only thing I wanted to say. It can get pretty competitive,
especially in the big cities.
Yes. And since it's set in New York, I mean, being told to kind of be mean, or kind of be underhanded, it's not really good advice. I think the best advice that I was given to get into this industry is that you got to be a little annoying, like pester them.
And that's pretty much how it is in almost every job field. Let's be honest.
It pretty much is.
Just do good work and be annoying.
Mm-hmm. Will you stop asking me that? I will if you give me an answer. Anyway, I don't know what other movies that she has been in. Let's see. Marie, her name's Maria Patillo, probably Patillo. I don't know because it's 2 L's. Audrey Timmons, right? That's what her last name was. Not that it really matters when it goes to the story, but oh well. Don't really know. I mean, no one really. She doesn't correct people. So, let's see. Natural Born Killers. She was in the movie Chaplin, with Robert Downey Jr.
Ah.
But so far, I don't think she's been in anything else she wasn't in anything really groundbreaking after Godzilla.
And could this be considered groundbreaking?
I could call it Ground Zero.
Fair enough.
Well, let's see. It's memorable.
Perhaps.
Maybe groundbreaking was the wrong term. She wasn't in anything as memorable as Godzilla after that came out.
I haven't seen her in anything, so.
Yeah. All right, then let's see. We have Hank Azaria, voice of various Simpsons characters, as Victor Animal Pilati. Your guess is. Use your imagination as to why his nickname is Animal. Because this is YouTube after all.
Yeah. Moving on.
All right, Kevin Dunn as Colonel Hicks. You remember Kevin Dunn? He was the parent in Transformers, the parent in Small Soldiers, and I'm sure he was a parent in other movies.
Wait, Hicks?
Yeah, Hicks. Oh, no, I don't think there's
Hicks?
I don't think there's any no relation. I don't think there's any relation.
Is there copying?
I don't think names fall under copyright unless it's Disney.
Granted. Okay.
Let's see.
That just took me to a better movie.
I know.
Can I go back to that one?
Holy crap, even with the nest of eggs? Jeez.
Okay, maybe there is some copying there.
Yes.
God damn it.
You made me think of that.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it.
Actually, the eggs do kind of look like the xenomorph eggs a little bit.
Artistic inspiration, I would think, but then there's so much other copying.
Let's see.
God damn it.
I know. Let's see. Okay. Well, really, just the main. All right. Well, the main character, of course, Jean Reno as Philippe Roche.
We talked about him. Roland Tembo. An okay copy, if it is a copy.
An okay copy, simply because Jean Reno is a very good actor. I even like his comments on American. Like he goes to get donuts, or when he pulls out a donut, he's like, oh, no croissants. It's like, come on.
You call this coffee?
I call this America. He wants some French roast coffee. It doesn't taste like French roast. Doesn't taste like it. But his response is more cream.
I've never had coffee. It's been a long time since I've had coffee. I'm not a fan, so I can't vouch.
I never had French roast coffee. I usually just have a vanilla latte because, I like vanilla flavor, and it's less bitter than actual straight coffee.
I'm a tea drinker. I'm refined.
Oh, you're a tea drinker. Perhaps you have some crumpets, and then sit on the lawn, play croquet.
No, I have some tea before I go to work with alligators. That's a bit more badass.
It's called mockery, Ian.
I know it is, and I just mocked your mockery.
All right. I think one of the best little satire, if you can call it satire, are
this whole movie.
No, not the whole movie. The two characters in there that are supposed to be representation of the beloved famed film critics, Siskel and Ebert.
Oh yeah.
You have you have Mayor Ebert, who's going for election. Yes, that's his. Yes, that's his. That seems to be his slogan. Thumbs up. And his assistant Gene, who is a sniveling little yes man. You know what's?
Oh, so Savage.
Huh?
Savage in
first
2 seasons.
Yes, he's Savage. But this one, and apparently, they were, and of course, it's obvious that they were put into that movie because they gave negative to reviews to Roland's other movies, such as Stargate and Independence Day. So this is kind of their way. This is their way of getting back at them. But I think Gene has the last laugh, actually. The real Gene, the real Siskel, who pretty much says, if you're gonna go through all this trouble of putting us in a monster movie, why not at one point have the monster either squish us or eat us?
Missed opportunity.
I know.
I mean,
that is just so amazing that the critics actually gave helpful advice to the director, who was pretty much trying to criticize them.
I mean, in addition to that, The Lost World, literally on screen, killed their writer, David Koepp.
Oh,
on
yeah.
Screen. So if you're trying to copy that movie, you can kill somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
They killed their writer. You can kill your.
I don't think it was any malice.
Critic.
I don't think it was out of any malice. I think it was just all in good fun. I mean, hell,
it wasn't good fun.
They even list in the credits that the man killed is unlucky bastard. So
I think more movies should do that.
I think so too.
Hey, John, you want to make a movie?
Sure, yeah.
Once COVID clears up.
Well, are you fully vaccinated?
I just got my last vaccination last week. I will be fully vaccinated once everything kicks in another week.
Well, I am fully vaccinated. That's why I was able to. Yes, that's why I was able to hang out with my best buddy Tyler today.
Does this mean we're gonna see you two together in one room?
Yes.
Oh, stay tuned for that, viewers.
All right, and so
anyway, moving on.
So some of the other characters, there is the main anchor Charles Kamen, played by Harry Shearer, again Simpsons voice actor, who most notably plays Principal Skinner in The Simpsons. The man that does that popular meme, "Am I out of touch?" No, it's the children who are wrong. And that's pretty much it. I mean, we can probably go into Animal's wife, Lucy, who honestly is kind of on my hit list for using the R word. No,
Ooh.
Let's see. I mean, you got the guy who plays Sergeant O'Neill. The adorable stutterer. How do we do that, sir? Let's see.
If they called him freaking Hudson, I would have walked out. Because you got Hicks.
You got a Hicks, yeah. Let's see.
You got xenomorph eggs. Anyway, that's basically it for the characters.
Well, then there's also the paleontologist, played by Vicki Lewis. Now that name.
Where did she get her degree?
That name actually does sound familiar. Now, son. Whoa! She was the voice of one of the fishes in the tank in Finding Nemo.
Huh.
Yeah, she was Deb. The one with the sister Flo. Which is really her in a reflection.
Yeah.
That was her.
It's been a while since I've seen that movie.
Yeah. Let's see. Modern Family. She's appeared in Modern Family. Oh, that's why she was familiar. Sorry, she appeared in the series How I Met Your Mother. Funny series, by the way.
I've never seen it. I obviously know about it. I've just never seen it.
Yeah. Well, she's not a major character. She only has 3 appearances, but. I don't know about any. Wait, what? Yeah, probably. I guess not really many. Not really many leading actress. She wasn't in a lot of leading actress roles, ones that I know.
I don't care. She messed up the pronunciation and used a made-up term. Moving on.
Okay, I think that is pretty much it for the characters.
Actually, no, I'm not gonna blame her. I'm gonna blame the writing.
Yeah, the director who said, "Good, good, yes, got it right."
Did he even consult any paleontologist or even look it up?
Probably not. Moving on. Okay, so we got characters. We took care of most of Godzilla's design. We took care of most of the setting. I don't know. How about
this? What did this movie do right? You might want to switch your Coke out there for like a beer, John.
Nothing. No thanks. I'm driving.
That's right. You have an excuse to drive now.
What did this movie do right?
Short list, I know.
A very short list. Honestly, I have no idea. I think, well, I can say kind of one, I guess. I don't know. What did it do right? I mean, it.
Did it do anything right? It might be a better question.
Well, it produced a short-lived animated series that kind of brought Godzilla back to its actual roots, which is, or one of its roots, which is Godzilla fights monsters.
Yeah. I have yet to see that animated series. I'm going to try to find it.
I've seen a few episodes, and it's kind of weird. The characters are actually a little bit different in their personalities.
Oh, so it's one of those.
Yeah. Sort of like how there was even an animated series of Men in Black.
The heck?
Oh yeah. Yeah, because it was the 90s. If it was popular and kids loved it, they made an animated series of it.
Jurassic Park didn't. They only just recently did that.
I think probably because Spielberg was actually too busy producing his the other cartoon shows like Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain, Tiny Toons, and Freakazoid.
Probably, and he also didn't want to oversaturate the Jurassic market.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, 90s. Also, RoboCop.
Well, that was more 80s, but yeah.
Well, they made the show in the 90s.
Yeah, okay.
And we've already said our piece about what spawned that.
Uh-huh. So, well, what good came out of it? Well, again, I like that they did use some practical effects, like some animatronics.
Always good to see.
Oh yeah.
You don't see that enough anymore.
Well, actually, you kind of do. It's just everything just blends so very well that everything blends so well. It's nearly impossible to actually find where's the practical effect and where's the digital effect.
And I think that's partly because they sort of overmesh it. Like they have the animatronic, and then they touch it up with CG, which I'm okay with that.
And what did they do right? Well, they did. Well, it's not a horrible movie.
I don't think it deserves all the hate it gets.
I mean, I can understand where fans and even Japanese fans are coming from. I mean, it's pretty much a bastardization of Godzilla, but I mean, I think we're now kind of going into rating. So it's,
I guess
it's so bad it's good. I mean, I like seeing you know, the bad dialogue, just kind of. I laugh at some of the things. Like, I still laugh at how Godzilla was actually able to fake out the military, the helicopters that were chasing it.
Yeah, anytime that the military was fighting Godzilla, I liked that. That seems good. It's just, like I said, the romantic subplot I could have done without.
Mm-hmm. I think, and to its credit, I mean the actors aren't doing a horrible job. I mean, okay, yeah, Jean Reno is like, you can't really hold a candle to him, but all the other actors, I mean, they do a pretty good job.
Yeah.
I mean, this is kind of the movie. It's a Godzilla movie that you shouldn't take too seriously because even the creators didn't take too seriously, and which is actually a shame, because because before we got this kind of movie, there were plans of actually making it like a Godzilla movie in America, kind of like the ones that the Japanese have made. One with dignity, one with depth. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard nowadays after, thanks to this one. And the reason why I bring that up is because Terry Rossio, he's actually credited. He's credited with writing the story, but that's it. That's the only credit. He actually had no direct involvement in the movie that we got. But he did get his redemption, actually. And that redemption was Godzilla vs. Kong.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So yes, he was involved with writing the story for Godzilla vs. Kong. The movie that was pretty much a box office success. And I think it actually crushed one of the main studios actually in the box office. Yeah. But yeah, I think it was that Disney movie, Raya and the Last Dragon, which was pretty much just Disney's version of doing what was that movie? What's that movie, Ian? The one from DreamWorks,
Shrek? No, it wouldn't be Shrek.
No. There has a dragon in it. It has a dragon in it. No, but it's another one. There's a purple Road to El Dorado. No, that's a Jaguar. What was it? Oh, now I know. Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas.
Yes,
that's the one. I think that one dragged on a little bit too long.
No, it's fine.
It's fine. Yeah. So yeah.
Suck it, Disney.
Yes. Suck it.
Anytime that Disney gets taken down a peg these days, I'm all for it.
I am too. So
I'm not trying to Disney bash. I just don't like what they're doing nowadays.
Same here. I mean,
we've been over this.
We have been over this. And so yeah, Terry Rossio, the man who wanted to give us a real American Godzilla movie that got shoved into the corner and had a target put on his back just because he was given credit for this one, gets his redemption for Godzilla vs. Kong, the movie that crushed Disney.
I actually have not seen any of these new MonsterVerse movies aside from the original 2014 Godzilla.
I'd recommend King of the Monsters because, one, you can actually see the monster fights a little more clearly than in the 2014, and B, I think the movie's pretty much the people creating it pretty much know that no one's here for the characters. They just want to see the monster fights.
Yeah, pretty much.
Same thing with Godzilla vs. Kong. I highly recommend it. And I think now we've kind of run out of steam a little bit. So, Ian, do you think this is now the time that we now go to our rating?
Yeah, I suppose.
There's nothing else we can talk about. Oh, the music.
I like Godzilla's theme in this movie. I like that.
It
feels Jurassic Park, of course, but meh.
It's not that. It feels more. I don't know how to say. It doesn't feel like it fits. It feels more
majestic,
ominous.
Ominous?
Yeah, it just feels more ominous. Or at least I'm thinking of the theme that plays over the credits.
Oh.
When the bomb explodes. Are you talking?
No, I'm talking about, when we just see him walking through the city.
Yeah, that's the one. That still sounds very ominous. I more like the theme when I more like the theme when he shows up during the first fish bait.
Oh,
that
yeah,
one.
I like that one.
That one feels.
That's the one I'm referring to. Yeah.
Okay, that one feels more majestic.
I like that one.
Yes.
But as far as rating goes for this movie,
oh yeah, let's see. I think I remembered something about, because I do actually occasionally watch this movie every once in a while. You know, when I'm obsessed with Godzilla, so every few months. And it was like, and we kind of live in an age where 5 continuous days of rain is rare. I mean, seriously.
We just went through that here.
You did?
Yes.
All consistent pouring,
No, not all consistent pouring, just rain day after day after day after day.
Okay, well, I'm clearly in the wrong area then.
Come to the East Coast.
Now that actually makes more sense. Let me see. Let's see. In response to the backlash,
it's not this level of rain though. It tapered on and off.
Let's see. Received considerable backlash from the fan base of the original series. Yes. Conceived a nickname to distinguish this film from the original GINO, G-I-N-O, which is an acronym for Godzilla in name only.
I've heard that.
Only now it's pronounced Zilla. Oh yeah. The marketing for this.
Oh my gosh.
The marketing for this movie was brilliant.
It was everywhere.
It was
even though this came out before I was born. I know. It was everywhere.
It was everywhere, and it was brilliant because, well, even the 2014 movie did the same thing. They never showed the monster. You had to see it so you know what it looks like. But what marketing did was pretty much just have signs and billboards all across describing it, like how big he is, or like a body part is big, like his foot is as long as this bus. Or
I remember seeing a clip of one commercial where it's a group of kids in a museum looking up at a T-Rex skeleton, and then his foot goes down through the glass ceiling and crushes the T-Rex skeleton.
That was the teaser trailer. That was the tease. Yes, because there were actually trailers before trailers. There were like the little small ones that could actually have been in the movies themselves, like the I don't know, the infamous Spider-Man teaser.
Ooh,
that one. You remember?
I've never actually seen that one.
You never seen that one?
No, I'll have to look for it.
Oh, let's just say you know that rare collectible of Spider-Man.
Yep.
Well, that's pretty much the same thing.
Oh.
And anyway.
But yeah, no, I remember watching a video about the marketing for this movie. Does this ring a bell, John? Here, lizard.
I think so. Wait, that's not Taco Bell, is it?
That's Taco Bell. Taco Bell got in on this.
Yes, I remember that. Let's see.
And Taco Bell did a lot of stuff with the marketing. Oh my god.
Yep. Here on the trivia. Roland Emmerich and Dean Devlin abandoned Godzilla's iconic atomic breath in favor of a power breath, where their Godzilla would simply blow objects away by exhaling a strong wind-like breath.
That would ignite.
However, news of the power breath leaked before the film's release, which outright raged fans and forced Emmerich and Devlin to make last-minute changes on scenes involving the power breath. effects supervisor Volker Engel, Dean and Roland wanted this monster to retain a certain menace and credibility, but Godzilla's breath is something everyone expects to see at some point. Oh yeah, because when I saw 2014 and I saw that blue glow, I saw those spines lining up on a trail to his head, and I heard that, and then he let out that monstrous blast. Oh, Tyler and I were like, yeah!
Why do I feel like the entire theater did that?
They probably did. We just went at a time where it wasn't packed.
Yeah, that's time to go watch movies.
Yeah. Let's see. What was I looking at before? Oh, that's right. The movie is famous for its rainy scenes. Co-producer and co-writer Dean Devlin claimed in interviews that this was a direct homage or homage, I don't know how you pronounce it. Homage to the original Godzilla, 1954, since according to him, almost all of it was in the rain. Did you actually watch the movie? Why am I asking that question? Of course you didn't. This is actually false, as only a brief scene of that movie featured rain. Many people have instead proposed that the rain was meant to hide the unconvincing aspects of this movie's special effects. That's kind of what I thought. That's usually when this is kind of a thing about visual effects, is that you gotta stack it up in layers and layers. So you put light flares on top of effects that involve light. You put a lens dirt, so to help kind of cover it up. It kind of helps blend it all together. But let's see, here we go. Director Roland Emmerich spoke out against this, explaining that the rain actually made it much more difficult to get the effects done, and it would have been way easier to leave it out. Then why have the entire movie set during a rainy day? Was it just scheduling conflicts? Did it just happen and you had to work with that?
I doubt it. I mean, I'm sure they shot on location in some days, but I don't know.
Shit. I know it was pretty much rain. It's raining like 90% of the movie. I mean, the only places that aren't raining were places that weren't in New York or Japan. Panama. Was that the Polynesian, not the French Polynesia?
Yep.
Let's see. That's it. Film student. Oh, here we go.
Oh boy.
Oh my God. Well, if this doesn't scream #instant regret. Toho,
Oh geez.
Toho Company Limited, the Japanese film studio that owns the rights to Godzilla, agreed to allow an American version to be made, but only if the US studio followed a set of guidelines in order for the film to properly capture the spirit of Godzilla. Both script and creature design were approved, and according to the main character has this particular name. According to Patrick Tatopoulos, the members, he was the set designer. The directors and writers named a character after him as saying like, "Thank you for all your hard work."
In this movie.
Yes. No, actually in the previous movies. I think it was either Independence Day or Stargate.
Oh.
The members of Toho were impressed. In reality, the Toho execs were left speechless and told the filmmakers to step out while they thought about it. They eventually relented because the film had been in development hell for years, and they wanted to get the project off the ground.
Oh.
Let's see. Oh, another one. When this modern remake was first conceived in 1990, So that was while the second series was Japanese series was going. You're gonna love this, Ian. James Cameron was originally offered the chance to direct. That would have been awesome!
A James Cameron directed Godzilla movie.
Just think about it. Audrey would have probably been the lead, and she would have been badass.
Ripley.
Yes. When he passed, Tim Burton was connected for a few years, with Joe Johnston's name bandied about for some time also.
Oh.
Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah.
But
Although he also did Avengers.
No, he didn't.
No, I thought he did.
No, that was Joss Whedon.
Oh.
Joe Johnston did Jumanji.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Let's see.
But yeah.
Paul Verhoeven was going to direct, but he passed on the project.
Come on.
Let's see. Then Jan de Bont, I don't know what has he directed. Oh. He made Speed and Twister.
Oh, poor John.
No, Twister. I love Twister. I know it's not scientifically accurate, but Twister, that's awesome. And
no, I mean the fact that he didn't direct it.
Oh,
for you.
Yeah. Let's see. But his budget for the film, estimated at $150 million, was higher than the studio was willing to pay. Should have taken the risk, man.
Yeah, at this point.
After he was let go, Roland Emmerich and Dean Devlin came in. Jan de Bont was disappointed because, unlike Emmerich, he was a fan of the character. De Bont would later criticize Sony since Emmerich's film would go over budget and be more expensive than the film he proposed. Oh my god. You done goofed, Sony.
Oh shit.
Oh my god. Oh,
I think this is a hashtag roasted moment, John.
Very much. You know, oh god, and let's see. While Jan de Bont was signed to direct in 1994, his dream cast for the film was Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton, who would later be cast in Twister. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ian, please tell me that there's a machine that can take us to an alternate universe where this happened.
I don't know of any, dude. I don't know of any.
You failed me, Ian.
I know. I'm sorry. Can we try again? Can we get all of these directors to? Get me James Cameron on it for crying out loud.
I'm pretty sure they're past their prime, and Cameron's not really direct. He's more focused on his Avatar movies. And
yeah.
Oh my god. Even Steven Spielberg tried to talk Emmerich out of making the film.
If you get Spielberg, the co-founder of DreamWorks, a company that was built on allowing people to create whatever they wanted, saying you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do it.
Oh god, it gets even worse.
Oh god.
Spielberg later told Entertainment Weekly that he didn't see the film, stating, "The only Godzilla I saw was the one with Raymond Burr, and that's the 1956 Godzilla King of the Monsters American adaptation of the original one, which still retains some of the original scenes and most of the original dialogue." I purposely stayed away from seeing TriStar's Godzilla because I didn't want to get anything between me and my memory of my favorite Godzilla movie of all time.
If you get Steven Spielberg against seeing your movie because he knows what it will do to his favorite movie, that's bad. Although I kind of do wish Spielberg did see it just to see how much Jurassic Park they put into it.
So pretty much Sony did the exact same thing in the 90s that they did in the 2010s when it came to Ghostbusters. They picked the wrong director. Well, you know, maybe third time's the charm. Maybe they have learned their lesson. No, they haven't. Oh my God. Yeah, usually when on the trivia page of IMDb, it's just a lot of negativity. There's like hardly any positive. There's like very little positive trivia about this. My God.
Are we really that surprised?
Not really, but I'm surprised. What I'm surprised is like how much. I mean, seriously, the amount of directors that this passed through, that Steven Spielberg's threw in his own 2 cents
on not seeing it, of all things.
And he tried to get Roland Emmerich to step down from doing this. It's like he kind of knew that this topic, this genre, this character is just something that's completely over his head. He's in way over his head when it comes to this.
Mm-hmm.
You pass on someone who is a fan of the character, all because you didn't like his estimated proposal.
And then you go over his estimated proposal.
And the guy you hired, his budget went over the proposal that you turned down to begin with.
Sony, you done goofed.
Yes, yep, Sony, you've made a huge mistake.
Although this movie did make its budget back and then some, it didn't really do too well.
Oh, God. It's just...
I think part of why it did, I guess, mediocre, because of the marketing.
Yeah, I think they spent a lot on marketing.
They got freaking Taco Bell in it. Come on.
I mean, I don't even think VHS sales would have helped get the budget back.
Yeah.
But so okay, I think that's it.
That's enough.
Yeah, it's just amazing to hear that. And it always just makes me think of what could have been.
James Cameron,
Jan de Bont. We could have had Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt.
What?
It's because we live in this universe, Ian. Because we live in this universe.
This universe sucks. It doesn't have dinosaurs and it has COVID.
Mm-hmm. And it had a moron for a president. Several morons.
Anyway, what are we rating this thing?
Okay, well,
we're done.
Yes,
we're done.
All right. Well, despite that shocking revelation,
Godzilla 1998.
Godzilla 1998 is still a guilty pleasure. I mean, it's bad, but that doesn't really take away from all the other good Godzilla movies that are in its library. And yes, while there weren't that many before it, there's now plenty now that we can choose from. So I think overall I give it 7 foot stomps out of 10.
You're generous, John.
Yes, I am.
I have to give it 5 smashed cars out of 10. It's great for the chasing Godzilla and, military trying to track him down and kill him. I like that. I love it. A lot of the writing isn't great. The romantic B plot that's also an A plot. I could do without that.
Yeah, my rating is most of my rating is factored in by nostalgia.
It's same here.
But I do recommend. I mean, if you want to see a bad but watchable Godzilla movie, I do recommend this one. You want to see any good Godzilla movies? Do a search on YouTube because at that point it's subjective. But the original 54 movie is always a good one to start with. All right. Anyway, so it is May. Ian, weren't we gonna do something this summer?
We were gonna do it for July.
I thought it was going to be June.
We have to record it in June because it has to come out early in July.
Okay, so
we're gonna have to do record 2.
Oh, we'll record. Oh yeah, we'll record 2. But so I didn't know if what we were if the next movie was the one that we had planned was for next month.
What did we have planned?
One of the greatest sequels ever made.
Yeah, that's for July.
Okay, could have sworn we said it was June, but anyway, when did it come out?
July 3rd.
It did? Oh yeah, it did. Okay. Well, all right. Well, I hope the next movie that we can review next month will tide you over until July.
We got to bring Tyler in for that one, dude.
Oh yes, we do. So actually, until then, we will see you next month.
With something.
For something.
Hopefully a good movie. We've done a few bad ones. Let's find a good one.
Let's see. What was we did Batman and Robin before this. What was the one that we did before that one? Yeah.
We could do The Last Airbender.
Oh, Arrival before that. We did Arrival.
Arrival was good. Yeah, Arrival was okay.
Yeah, and before Arrival, it was Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl.
And before that, Shrek.
Yes.
So what we're doing for next month, we don't know at this point, viewers.
We'll do something. We know that.
You'll see us here.
Actually, I think maybe we should actually get started on the Jurassic Park trilogy.
Sure.
All right.
We've got a year till Dominion comes out, give or take.
Yeah.
So I guess we should get started on that.
Yeah. All right. So join us in June where we will be talking about
The
one
greatest science fiction movie of all time.
The one that started it all for us. Well, by us, I just mean, well, me specifically, but Ian, you got, I mean, let's see, it was the fourth one that started it for you, right?
Seeing it in theaters, yes.
Yes, okay.
But I saw the first Jurassic.
You saw the first one?
When I was 4 years old.
Oh, okay, so yeah, it was, so it did start it all for us.
Oh, man. And boy, has it. Oh, yeah. We've got a lot to say about that. Join us next month, June 2021, viewers. Welcome to Jurassic Park.